In this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and use Photoshop CC 2020 to clip multiple images to letters with different types of clipping masks. So this allows you to create a really neat effect and showcase several different photos. Works great for the beginnings of articles, some really interesting ways you can create some different graphic design effects. So let's go ahead and do a File and New. Oh, at the top. And we want to go ahead and make one that's print. Let's go ahead and do letter, and let's make it landscape, so it does it for you automatically. And let's do create. Let's do a file, save as, first initial last name, underscore, space clipping. Nope, we're gonna call this one a different one. This one's moon. .psd. And let's go ahead and grab PSD. Alright, put save. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is, as we have played with clipping masks before, you know that you need to have something to clip it to. So let's go ahead and make our type. With this one, it's a little bit different in that you want to put each letter on a different layer in order to clip it to the individual things. So it's got a few more steps, but comes up pretty cool. Let's grab our text. Let's go ahead and grab impact, regular 300. I'm going to go ahead and make it black this time since I've got 000. Since I've got a white background, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and click here, and I want a capital letter M. So you can see over here, it has got its own layer. So let's go ahead and create the other letters. Let's go ahead for O, right click on the layers panel, duplicate, make a copy. It's going to copy it right on top of it so you can't see it, and you can pull it straight over. Alright, so now I want to go ahead and change that to letter O. So let's grab our text tool, click in that layer, put in O. Nope, capital O. Alright, so now I can use my move tool. I can use my alt and drag and make another O right there. Pretty easy. So there's a couple different ways to duplicate those. I can do one more, grab making moo instead. Grab my text tool and make that an N. So I've got my word moon that I want. I'm going to go ahead and do a Control S and say what I've got so far. Alright, so now we need to go ahead and grab our images that we want to put. So let's go File and Open. We're going to shift click our images that we, well, for this one it's kind of messed up. Let me go ahead and view details, type. Alright, now it'll let me shift click them. Alright, so now I want to be able to grab multiple images at one time. So I'm going to grab the moon, these four others. So I'm going to click the first one I want. I'm going to go ahead and click shift and grab the last one. So you can, or you can use your control and you can open up multiple things at a single time. And we'll go ahead and say open. And now we're going to open up multiple images. I already know how to use my nebula, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a peek. Let's see what letter we want to go clipping into letters. So we want to, don't do that one. First thing we want to do is be on the M. So I'm going to go ahead and click that M layer and figure out what I'm going to put behind this moon. So this was not working the other day. We'll see if it's working. Let's go ahead and grab my shuttle. I should be able to grab and drag it and bring it over, and it's still not behaving. So it's a Photoshop is doing some weird things with the latest update. I'm going to go ahead and undock that to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to grab my shuttle, grab my background from my shuttle layer, and bring it over my moon. And now it's going to paste it over. So we know that I want my moon to be over top of my, or my picture to be over top of my letter. I'm going to go ahead and do a right click and do a create clipping mask. And then I can grab my move tool, move it so I've got that shuttle wherever I want it within the moon. It's kind of a cool effect in that it makes it go away. Alright, let's go ahead and repeat that for the other letters. So I just do shuttle. Let's go ahead and close shuttle. Alright, I've got Moonwalk. Let's grab Moonwalk and make sure I go into here. Let's make sure I'm above my letter O, because that's what I want to go above. And let's grab that Moonwalk. Go over to Moonwalk, layer, bring it over. I want him to appear kind of in the O itself. Do my right click and my create clipping mask. So I've got my gentleman astronaut in here. Maybe I want to put him over there. I'm going to click on my next O. I'm going to close my Moonwalk. I'm going to grab my engine. Grab my engine and bring it over here. Come on over. Right click. Create clipping mask. Once again, you've got your ability to move them around. And my last one is going to be my N. Let's go ahead and grab Mars. I guess you could do that over there. Let's do a right click and a create clipping mask until you get these all exactly where you want them to be. I'm going to do Control S and save what I've got so far. Now if you wanted to at this point, you could add effects. You could easily add let's go ahead and do that N. It's kind of a cool trick. To the N, let's grab our drop shadow, create that drop shadow we did before. And what you can do is layer style. Oh, that's where we played with it. So basically what we can do is go here and copy that effect down to, you can take an Alt. Let's go here. Let's see if this has changed a little bit. Alt and grab, and it'll grab that layer effect and put it on multiple things. So you have the ability to play with different things going on, different letters. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and turn that effect off. I'm not sure why it's not showing. I'm going to throw it in the trash. Throw that one in the trash. Oh, undo. Wrong one. I want to grab the effect, not the... this is doing all kinds of fun stuff today. Alright, throw the effect away. And you can also just turn the eyeball off. Alright, so once you've got that done, let's go ahead and redock to a Control S. Not worried about adding effects too much, it's up to you. Alright, so now we want to make sure that we turn in a flattened copy. Make sure everything's where we want. Let's go Image. Let's come down here to Duplicate. We're going to name it, instead of Copy, we want to call it Moon Flat. And say OK. So now I've got my moon flat. Let's go ahead and do layer, flatten image. So now instead of having our 8 layers, it's going to go ahead and take that down to 1. So now this is one single unit, which makes it a little bit easier. Also, because we had the background on there, it did flatten that background in there as well. So if you wanted to, you could get rid of, we could use our magic eraser and get rid of all that white. Now you could save it as a transparent. So if you want to make sure it's transparent, make sure you take off the, oh, got a little bit left. Make sure you take off that background before you flatten it. And that's basically all you do to create a clipping mask for every single letter. You're going to go ahead and find one more sample and create another one and enjoy this one.